Welcome to the Fix My Insurance Agency podcast. Each podcast will share the conversations, best practices, experiences, and influences that have generated over $1 billion in insurance premium. So sit back and let us help you fix your insurance agency.
This is Dr. Billy Williams, and this audio blog is taken directly from the 2017 How to Build a $10 Million Insurance Agency in 5 Years workbook. You know, growing and operating a successful insurance agency requires that you have an assembly line of support, resources, and agency operations. And I think a lot of people make this much harder than it needs to be because they don't think of their operations as an assembly line, and they really are. Just like you put a car together, you have to have an assembly line to put together a $10 million agency. The assembly line contains different stations: your carriers, your products, the niches that you go after, triggers, prospect list or groups, types of marketing that you want to use, marketing automation, how you follow up, lead tracking, new customer process, service processes, and retention processes. So I'm going to take a moment and talk about each of the stations on the assembly line. The assembly line starts with having access to carriers that provide the right products at a reasonable price for the niche audiences that you cater to. Next on the assembly line is your understanding and recognition of the specific triggers that makes insurance important to a consumer. Examples of trigger include buying an item that has a mandatory requirement for insurance, such as a home or car, a change in income, such as getting a promotion or losing a job, or something that makes a consumer have to look at their current insurance agent relationship, such as filing a claim or making a change to their policy. The constant trigger that an insurance agency should use to their advantage is the expiration date of a current insurance policy. This is when consumers notice the rate increases that dominate today's insurance market. Once you know your triggers, your next stop on the assembly line is to acquire a prospecting list and market to groups of consumers that match your niche audience and your triggers. There are many ways to locate lists. You can buy them from a list vendor. You can partner with other professionals that work with your niche prospects. You can even buy search engine results marketing that target consumers searching online for your products and service. However you choose to do it is up to you, but you need to go after a list and you need to go after groups. Regardless of the types of marketing you decide to use, marketing automation such as drip emails, permission-based text messaging, automated dial technology, product hotlines, and other marketing automation will make your marketing consistent and effective. While you would think that following up with a prospect that has requested a quote wouldn't be a concern, it's a major problem in most agencies. In fact, often the better the marketing efforts of the agency, the worse the follow-up processes. Most agencies depend on the self-discipline of sales and service staff to follow up with prospects, when in reality, they should rely on accountability and lead management software to help support the service and sales team. Accountability requires the use of established agency processes that can be trained, tracked, and measured. The insurance industry is flooded with lead management software, so finding a tool that you can afford and that you can easily use is as simple as performing a Google search. The final 3 stations of the assembly line are what separate great agents and agencies from average or below agents and agencies. The new customer process. How you onboard a new customer establishes the culture and expectations of the relationship. If you do it right, you'll get additional sales, referrals, testimonials, and the customer will be happy and content. Do it wrong, and your customer will look at you and your products and your services as another bill that they're forced to pay. And at the very first sign of a rate increase or an issue with your service, they're out shopping for cheaper insurance and better service. Unlike other processes that can have multiple variations, your new customer process should be the one standard process that has no variation. Next are your service processes. Another important piece in establishing the culture of your agency is great service. And guys, great service should be the agency standard, not an unexpected treat reserved for special customers or only utilized by special staff members. In order to consistently provide great service to customers, the agency has to have a culture built around training, accountability, and automation. Are you catching the theme here, guys? Training, accountability, and automation. Something as simple as using an e-signature tool can make life easier for the customer and for the agency staff and make you appear more valuable as an agent. Retention efforts and processes are the final stop on the insurance agency assembly line. Every conversation, process, tool, and piece of automation and technology should help support the retention of current customers. You can't grow to a large insurance agency if your existing customers are leaving just as fast as you're bringing on new customers. While contrary to what most consumers believe, the insurance agent does not control the rate that an insurance company has decided to charge a customer. However, the culture of the agency and the agency operations can and should establish the value of the knowledge, wisdom, and expertise of the agency and all staff associated with the agency. If your agency is within $50 a month, or not a month, $50 a year of a price, guys, just your great service and your knowledge and your expertise and your wisdom should be able to overcome that. Now, I say 50 just kind of as a random number. Maybe it's 100, maybe it's 200, because it all depends on your products and your services. But you shouldn't lose out on a customer or lose out on a prospect for a $10 or $15 difference. That's you not showing your value. Everything from an endorsement, how an endorsement is processed, to how a billing question is answered, to how a claim is handled, should show an expertise that is far beyond your peers. How do you get this proficient? Training, accountability, and the proper use of agency automation and technology. Guys, take this blog post and share it with your staff and your peers. If you're a corporate sales leader, forward it to the agents you support. Mastering the assembly line will allow you to grow your agency to heights you probably never dreamed of. So do you want additional insight and wisdom into growing your insurance agency? Do you want to have a mentoring team behind you with a proven track record of almost $1 billion in sales annually? Check out inspirenation.org, www.inspireanation.org. You can sign up for an insurance agent mentoring membership. You can order the How to Build a $10 Million Insurance Agency in 5 Years manual and workbook. Or you can just reach out to us and ask us questions that we can use to help you grow your agency. This is Billy Williams. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you being here.
Welcome to the Fix My Insurance Agency podcast. Each podcast will share the conversations, best practices, experiences, and influences that have generated over $1 billion in insurance premium. So sit back and let us help you fix your insurance agency.